Do you believe in reincarnation? Have you ever recalled a moment when you felt an inexplicable connection to a stranger, or dreamed of a place you've never been to? It could be a distant city, an old house, or even a historical era you've never studied. What if I told you that those feelings aren't just random occurrences, but could be glimpses into a previous life of yours? Today, we're going to explore a mysterious and fascinating topic: reincarnation, the belief that our souls don't just live once, but may experience multiple lifetimes. Reincarnation has captivated and challenged humanity for millennia. In this video, I'll share with you 12 chilling but true stories that have led many people to believe that reincarnation is real. These aren't fictional tales or made-up stories. These reincarnation accounts will make you rethink what you know about life and death. Before we dive into these strange and mysterious stories, let's clarify the concept of reincarnation. At its core, reincarnation is the belief that after we die, our consciousness or soul doesn't disappear, but is reborn into a new body. This idea isn't confined to a single religion or culture, but is a common belief in many spiritual traditions around the world. Both Hinduism and Buddhism share the view that we go through many lives to develop spiritually, learning from past mistakes and challenges. For many, it's an ongoing cycle of rebirth, a fundamental part of the nature of the universe. If you find this topic interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video so you don't miss any upcoming fascinating content. And if you believe in reincarnation, comment below with, "I believe in reincarnation and the power of rebirth." But if you don't believe, feel free to share your thoughts with, "I don't believe in it, but I'm intrigued." I look forward to reading your perspectives. Now, let's explore these chilling reincarnation stories that blur the lines between past and present, life and death. The first story, the Reincarnated Pilot. James Lininger was only 2 years old when strange nightmares began to haunt his sleep. These dreams weren't just ordinary images, but vivid plane crashes with astonishingly accurate details about World War II. James' parents, initially confused and somewhat skeptical, couldn't understand why their young son would be so haunted by such images at such a tender age. But what happened next truly amazed them. As he grew older, James began to share incredibly specific details about a pilot named James Houston Jr., who had died in a plane crash during World War II. This knowledge was far beyond the comprehension of a toddler, and of course, James had never been exposed to any information about war or pilots at that stage. He frequently drew pictures of plane crashes and signed his drawings James 3, a detail that wasn't understood until later. Out of curiosity and concern, James' parents began to investigate the memories and information their son was sharing. They discovered that James Houston Jr. was indeed a pilot who flew Corsair planes during World War II. He had taken off from the USS Natoma Bay aircraft carrier and was shot down over Iwo Jima. The details young James provided, including the ship Houston flew from and the events surrounding his death, were all confirmed through military records. The story became even more credible when James was able to recognize Houston's former comrades in old photos, despite them having passed away long before James was born. James Lininger's story attracted widespread attention and was featured in documentaries, books, and research reports. It has become one of the most convincing examples of reincarnation, leaving both researchers and skeptics in awe. How could a child possess such precise and detailed knowledge about someone who had died decades before he was born? James's memories have stunned researchers due to the accuracy of the information he provided about the deceased pilot. It stands as one of the most striking examples supporting the possibility of reincarnation, a concept that has fascinated and challenged human understanding for centuries. The second story, the Pollock Twins. In 1957, a tragedy struck in England when two young sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock, died in a tragic car accident. Their parents, devastated and overwhelmed by grief, could never have imagined that a year later they would have another set of twin daughters, Gillian and Jennifer. Strange things began to happen as the twins grew up, and their parents noticed eerie similarities to their lost daughters. From a young age, Gillian and Jennifer asked for toys they had never seen before, items that had once belonged to Joanna and Jacqueline. Astonishingly, the twins were able to recognize places they had never visited in their lives, places that only Joanna and Jacqueline had known. They also displayed an unusual fear of cars, reflecting a deep-seated anxiety that may have stemmed from the tragic accident. One of the most striking details of this story is that both Gillian and Jennifer had birthmarks in the exact same locations as the injuries Joanna and Jacqueline had sustained in the fatal accident. This wasn't just a random coincidence. It seemed to be a clear sign that something supernatural was at play. These birthmarks raised questions about whether traumatic experiences from a previous life could carry over to a new body. As the twins grew older, their memories of Joanna and Jacqueline began to fade, which is commonly reported in alleged reincarnation cases. However, the details that Gillian and Jennifer provided during their early years were so specific and abundant that it was hard to dismiss them as mere coincidences. These recollections weren't just spoken words, but reflected in natural reactions and behaviors that couldn't be easily explained. The story of the Pollock twins is a remarkable example of reincarnation within a family, a phenomenon that has puzzled many researchers. It not only raises questions about the possibility of reincarnation, but also suggests that family bonds may transcend death. This story has become a frequently cited case in reincarnation studies, opening new avenues for thought about the nature of consciousness and the connections between different lifetimes. The third story, the Reincarnated Husband. In India, a strange phenomenon occurred with a young woman named Sumitra, who suddenly fell into a coma after a severe illness. When she woke up, what shocked her family wasn't her recovery, but the fact that she insisted she was no longer Sumitra. She claimed to be a woman named Shiva, living in a completely different city from where she currently resided. This left her family bewildered and concerned about her mental state. What made the situation even more bizarre was that Sumitra didn't just claim to be someone else. She provided highly detailed information about Shiva's life. She clearly described Shiva's husband's name, the address where they lived, and specific events in their marriage. Things that Sumitra couldn't possibly have known unless she had lived Shiva's life. When Sumitra's family decided to investigate, they were astonished to discover that Shiva had indeed lived at the address Sumitra provided and had passed away just days before Sumitra fell ill. The most remarkable confirmation came from Shiva's husband. He verified the detailed information Sumitra shared, including private conversations that only he and his late wife would have known. This added even more credibility to the strange story, leaving people to wonder whether this could be evidence of reincarnation. Sumitra's case is particularly noteworthy because it doesn't involve a child, but an adult seemingly recalling a past life. Additionally, the time gap between Shiva's death and Sumitra's recovery was just a few days, raising the question, did Shiva's soul quickly find a new body to reincarnate into, or was this just a random occurrence? In Indian culture, belief in reincarnation is deeply ingrained in the minds of many generations. Sumitra's case further reinforced that belief, highlighting the possibility that the soul may quickly find a new home after leaving the old body. This story has become a testament to the complexities of life and reincarnation in the consciousness of Indian people, where reincarnation is not just a belief, but also a part of spiritual reality. The fourth story, the Civil War General. Jeffrey Keane, a fire chief from Connecticut, had a most peculiar experience when visiting the Antietam battlefield, site of one of the fiercest battles of the American Civil War. Although he had no particular interest in the Civil War before, as soon as he stepped onto this hallowed ground, Keane felt a deep emotional connection, as if he had been there in a past life. This intense emotion was not just a fleeting feeling, it compelled him to delve deeper into the battle and his own identity. After some research, Keane began to uncover astonishing similarities between himself and a Confederate general named John B. Gordon. One of the most notable discoveries was that Keane and Gordon bore a striking resemblance, including specific facial features. Remarkably, both men had a unique birthmark in the same spot on their bodies. This raised the question of whether Jeffrey Keane could be the reincarnation of a general who had died decades earlier. But it didn't stop there. Another finding added to the mystery. Keane's handwriting was identical to that of John B. Gordon, a rarity even among people from the same family, let alone two individuals separated by over a century. Even more astonishing, both Keane and Gordon had undergone 4 major surgeries in the same areas of their bodies, an undeniable coincidence. The physical similarities, handwriting, and medical events left many researchers astounded. While there are past life stories based on memories and emotions, Jeffrey Keane's case stands out for its clear and specific physical evidence linking him to Civil War General John B. Gordon. This is not merely a coincidence, it is a vivid example suggesting that connections may exist that transcend both space and time between two lives. The story of Jeffrey Keane and the Civil War general has perplexed many, especially with the physical details like the birthmark and handwriting. This raises the question, can a person's soul reincarnate into a new body, carrying not just memories, but also physical characteristics? The answer may serve as a compelling testament to the theory of reincarnation. The fifth story, the Barra Boy. In Glasgow, Scotland, a young boy named Cameron Macaulay astonished everyone at just 2 years old. Cameron began talking about a past life on the Isle of Barra, an island over 220 miles west of his home. What made Cameron's story unusual was that he had never set foot on Barra, yet he described in detail a white house near a beach from which he could see airplanes landing. He also insisted that he had lived there in a past life and that his father, from that life, was named Shane Robertson. Initially, Cameron's mother was quite skeptical of his accounts. However, as Cameron continued to provide more details, she decided to take her son to Barra to verify his claims. Upon arrival, her astonishment peaked when she discovered a white house that matched every description Cameron had given. The family living in the house also confirmed the information Cameron shared, including the existence of a man named Shane Robertson, whom Cameron claimed was his father in his past life. This story is remarkable not only because of the detailed memories Cameron possesses, but also due to the geographical distance between his current life and the alleged past life. Cameron had never been to Barra and had no way of knowing about the island's features at such a young age. His case is a clear example that past life memories are not limited by spatial distance. This is one of the most famous cases of past life memories in children. Cameron Macaulay's case raises the question of whether our souls can retain memories from previous lives, even when geography and time are no longer barriers. It suggests the possibility that the soul can experience multiple lives in completely unfamiliar places, unrelated to the current life. And the sixth story, The Hollywood Agent. Among the famous reincarnation stories, the case of Marty Martin, a talent agent in Hollywood, is a unique and unusual example. Unlike the typical stories of children recalling past lives, Marty Martin experienced vivid and detailed dreams at the age of 60. He didn't just dream of any life, he dreamed of the life of a Maratha warrior in 18th century India, a historical period that Martin had never shown interest in before. Remarkably, Martin shared a wealth of accurate information about the life, battles, weapons, and customs of the Maratha warrior. These were not vague or random. The details were so specific that even historians had to verify their accuracy. Martin could recount historical events and obscure cultural practices that a regular person, even scholars specializing in that era, would not know. This made his case a challenge for skeptics, as the conventional reasoning that past life memories stem from exposure to books or media could not be applied here. This incident not only challenges the way we think about reincarnation, but also expands the boundaries of reincarnation cases, which are often believed to occur in young children. Marty Martin's story demonstrates that past life memories can manifest even in adults, and they may even contain complex and lesser-known historical information. This is a remarkable case showing that past life memories are not limited by age and can relate to historical periods, professions, and lives in entirely different cultures. It also prompts us to wonder whether the soul can carry deep memories of past lives, even if those memories do not show signs of presence early in the current life. And the seventh story, the Lebanese Twins. In Lebanon, a fascinating story of reincarnation captured attention when a pair of twins began recalling their past lives as soon as they learned to talk. The twins claimed that they had been killed in their previous life and even led their parents to the location where they believed their bodies were buried. Remarkably, when they arrived, 2 skeletons were indeed found at the exact spot they described, leaving everyone astonished by the accuracy of these memories. The twins did not stop at pointing out the burial site. They also provided names and detailed information about their former lives. When the family investigated, this information was corroborated by people from a nearby village, including details that no one could know except those who had lived in that family. Notably, the twins even recognized familiar faces from their past life and could describe intimate events and stories related to their old family. What makes this case particularly special is the involvement of 2 individuals, the twin siblings, sharing memories of the same connected past life. Typically, one person might claim to recall a past life, but in this case, 2 independent individuals confirmed each other's accounts, making it much more difficult to dismiss or consider it merely coincidence. The story of the Lebanese twins prompts reflection on the possibility that souls can maintain connections across multiple lifetimes. The close bond between 2 people in a past life that continues to exist in the present life suggests that souls can rediscover familiar relationships, regardless of how much time has passed or how lives have changed. The 8th story, the World War II pilot. Nicholas Barclay, a young boy from England, began having terrifying dreams when he was just 3 years old, in which he screamed about a plane crash and the pain of a pilot unable to escape a burning aircraft. He often shouted, "The plane's on fire! The kid can't get out!" These nightmares were not merely baseless fears, as Nicholas also exhibited a strange fascination with World War II airplanes, despite having no exposure to them in his current life. As he grew older, Nicholas began providing specific details about his past life as a pilot during World War II. He not only knew about various types of fighter planes, but could also accurately identify the technical components of these aircraft. Information that a boy his age could not possibly know without extensive exposure or research. He even remembered the name of the airfield where he had been stationed in his past life, which was confirmed to be accurate from historical records. What makes Nicholas's story remarkable is not only his detailed knowledge of wartime aircraft, but also the emotional trauma he displayed. His frequent nightmares and anxiety surrounding planes indicate that he was not simply interested in World War II history. It seemed he carried a deep and personal connection to the events he described, as if he had lived through those horrifying moments. The case of Nicholas Barclay is yet another example of how past life memories can become too detailed and precise to be merely products of imagination. His experiences suggest that wounds from the past can leave imprints on the soul and continue to influence a new life. The 9th story, the reincarnated monk in Tibet. Tenzin, a young boy, stirred excitement in the Tibetan Buddhist community when he was recognized as the reincarnation of a revered lama. From a very young age, Tenzin began accurately identifying the possessions of the deceased lama, items that only close associates would know about. Not only that, but he also recounted specific details about the lama's life that Tenzin could not have acquired through ordinary means. What makes Tenzin's case particularly special is the structured process applied to determine him as a reincarnated lama. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there is an official system for recognizing reincarnated lamas, which includes rigorous tests and careful observations. Tenzin not only excelled in these tests, but also demonstrated knowledge that was astonishing, knowledge that the monks believed could only come from the deceased lama. Tenzin's case provides compelling evidence for reincarnation and opens up a profound discussion about how different cultures approach and interpret these spiritual phenomena. It challenges our perspectives on reincarnation, particularly in a religious context, where belief in rebirth and reincarnation is a crucial part of the religious and spiritual framework. This case is not only a testament to the process of reincarnation, but also profoundly reflects the long-held beliefs of Tibetan monks in the existence of past lives and how the soul can continue to exist through different forms of life. Tenzin has become a symbol of the connection between the present and the past in a rich spiritual tradition. The 10th story, the murdered child. One of the most chilling cases related to the phenomenon of reincarnation is the story of Shanti Devi, a girl from Delhi, India, born in 1926. From the age of 4, Shanti began talking about her other home and other family in Mathura. She provided details about her past life, including her name, Lugdi, her husband's name, and the tragic circumstances surrounding her death while giving birth. As Shanti's claims came to light, they quickly garnered significant public attention. A committee was formed to investigate her claims, and the investigators were astonished to find that the information Shanti provided was accurate. She identified her former husband and other family members, as well as private details that a complete stranger could not possibly know. What makes Shanti's case stand out is the level of scrutiny it received. It was investigated not only by psychics, but also by journalists and skeptics. The detailed documentation of this case has made it one of the most intriguing and controversial cases recorded in history. Shanti Devi's story is a haunting example of how the soul can continue to hold memories of injustices from a past life. It raises fascinating questions about the existence of past lives and how traumatic experiences can continue to haunt the mind and soul even after leaving the physical body. This story prompts people to consider the nature of life and death, as well as how memories can transcend the boundaries of time and space. The 11th story, The Thai Boy and His Deceased Best Friend. In a small village in Thailand, a strange story captured the attention of the entire community. A 4-year-old boy named Niran began sharing memories that he claimed to have experienced with their deceased best friend, a young man named Anand. What was unusual was that Niran seemed to not only know about Anand, but also described precise details about his life, leaving those around him astonished. Niran often spoke about the adventures he and Anand had when they were alive, from playing in the green fields to memorable birthday parties they celebrated together. The boy recounted how Anand had taught him how to fish in the stream near their home. And he even remembered the day they enjoyed delicious meals prepared by Anand's mother. These vivid memories were narrated by Niran in detail, just like an adult reminiscing about the past. As Niran's stories were shared, Anand's family, who were still grieving their loss, decided to verify the authenticity of what the boy was saying. They invited Niran to visit Anand's old home and were surprised to see him recognize every little corner of the house. From the chair where Anand used to sit to the painting that Anand had created. Niran even correctly named Anand's favorite toys. The connection between the boy and his deceased friend deepened when Niran began mentioning private details that only Anand's family would know. For example, he accurately spoke of a secret that only Anand and his mother had shared, something no child could know without a special bond. These stories not only stunned Anand's family, but also made them feel as if a miracle had occurred in their lives. As the truth unfolded, Anand's family no longer doubted. They believed that Niran was indeed the reincarnation of their lost friend, carrying memories and feelings from a past life. Niran's story was not just a testament to the phenomenon of reincarnation, but also a profound reflection on eternal friendship, a reminder that love and memory can transcend even death. The wonder of life depicted in this story made everyone believe that souls continue to live in the hearts of those they love, even after they have left this world. The 12th story, The Egyptian Girl and Memories from Ancient Times. In a small village in England, there was a girl named Sophie who displayed strange signs of memories from a distant life since she was very young. By the age of 4, Sophie began telling her family and friends about her experiences in ancient Egypt. Her stories were not just simple dreams. They were filled with vivid details about the life, culture, and rituals of the ancient Egyptians. Sophie described the elaborate ceremonies she claimed to have participated in, where people wore magnificent garments and prayed before grand temples. She spoke of offerings to the gods and sacred rituals that took place along the banks of the Nile River. What astonished everyone were her accurate descriptions of how the ancient Egyptians conducted these rituals, from the dances to the songs sung during the ceremonies. As she grew older, Sophie demonstrated an increasingly strong interest in Egyptian history, not merely as a hobby, but as a deep passion. She began researching the kings and culture of that era on her own. Remarkably, Sophie provided details that many people, including historians, had never known. She knew the exact names of the pharaohs, had knowledge of the temples, and was familiar with ancient legends. As news of Sophie and her unusual memories spread, a group of archaeologists decided to investigate further. They reached out to her and arranged an interview during which Sophie shared even more about her memories. The research team was astonished when Sophie could accurately identify the locations of several temples and palaces she had described. They decided to verify this information by consulting historical records and conducting excavations. The result was a series of shocking discoveries. Many details Sophie provided were confirmed, from the rituals she described to the architecture of the ancient temples. Archaeologists could not explain how a little girl in England could hold such precise knowledge about a civilization that had vanished thousands of years ago. Sophie's story is not only a testament to the possibility of past life memories, but also raises intriguing questions about the connections between souls and time. The details she provided were astonishingly verified, leaving people to wonder whether memories could exist in our minds from previous lives, and if we truly have the ability to connect with the distant past of humanity. Sophie became a vibrant symbol of reincarnation, reminding us that history can live on in the hearts of newcomers. After hearing these chilling and inspiring stories about the phenomenon of reincarnation, the question that many cannot help but ask is, do we really believe in the reincarnation of the soul? Each story of past life memories, strange experiences, and strong connections between generations shows us that there may be many things that science has yet to explain. Reincarnation, from a spiritual perspective, is not merely the soul transitioning from one body to another. It is also a journey, a process of energy transformation, and a testament to the eternal existence of the soul. Many religions and spiritual philosophies around the world, from Buddhism to Hinduism, believe that we are immortal souls, continuously reincarnating to learn, experience, and grow. Souls do not just live one singular life. They undergo many different lives, each serving as an opportunity for self-improvement. These stories not only evoke wonder, but also open a door for us to delve deeper into the nature of life and death. When considering specific cases like Shanti Devi or the Pollock Twins, we see that there is not only a temporary connection between lives, but also strong, profound relationships between souls. The clear memories that these individuals possess from past lives cannot simply be explained by coincidence or imagination. They may indicate that the soul does not only exist within a specific time frame, but also has the ability to maintain an invisible connection, a guiding thread between lives. Commenting on the energy of reincarnation, we can see that each soul carries a certain level of energy, encompassing experiences, lessons, and desires from previous lives. This transformation can be understood as a spiritual process, where the soul learns from its failures and successes, thereby further developing. When we understand that each of us is a part of a larger picture, a network of souls, we can perceive life and our relationships with others in a deeper way. The existence of the soul and its journey through lives reminds us that life is not just about what we experience in the present, but also about understanding, appreciating, and learning from our past and that of those around us. By opening ourselves to the concept of reincarnation, we not only explore the depths of ourselves, but also have the opportunity to connect with other souls on our spiritual journey. Ultimately, this creates a richer and more meaningful life experience, allowing us to move toward growth and the light of the spirit. In today's video, we explored 12 chilling and captivating stories about the phenomenon of reincarnation from around the world. These stories are not just personal experiences. They also provide deep insights into the mysteries of the soul and existence. From the vivid memories of young boys to the miraculous connections between generations, each story carries a powerful message about rebirth and the invisible ties between lives. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, these stories invite us to keep an open mind about the mysteries of human consciousness. They remind us that there is still much we don't understand about the mind and soul, and that each of us may be part of a larger story that goes beyond what we know. These narratives not only help us explore spiritual aspects, but also enrich our own life experiences, encouraging us to reflect on the past and the connections between souls. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which story resonated with you the most from the 12 we discussed today? Share your thoughts about that story by commenting below the video. Your engagement is not only a motivation for me to continue sharing meaningful content, but also an opportunity for us to explore the fascinating aspects of life together. If you found this video helpful and engaging, please like, subscribe, and share it to spread this message to more people. Your support will give us the encouragement to continue producing even more valuable content on spirituality and other profound topics. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found something interesting and beneficial. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we will continue to explore the wondrous and mysterious aspects of life. Wishing you a wonderful day filled with positive energy.